Hey there, Solar Bears fans. Jesse Liebman here, and I have the distinct pleasure of being able to introduce the first new signing for the Orlando Solar Bears for the 2020-21 season from Edina, Minnesota defenseman Paul Meyer. Paul, good to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are things going back home in Minnesota now?
They're going well. I think Minnesota's, slightly opening up a little bit more, so a little bit more restaurants here and there. Other than that, family's staying safe. Dad's working from home, and just trying to work out as much as possible.
Now, for you, you recently just completed your senior season at Colgate University. As you prepare to make your jump to the pro ranks, walk us through your senior season and just all the trials and tribulations that you encountered this past year, and especially kind of offering a unique perspective that we haven't been able to get from our players that we've interviewed already this summer, who have been in the pro ranks. You yourself, though, are making that jump to the pros. So what was that like as a college athlete with the season being ultimately canceled?
So I guess college, compared to what my brief experience in juniors is a lot more like run and gun. It seems a little bit more organized just because you're going to play, you're going to practice Monday through Thursday, pregame skate Friday, and then just hard weekend of games, which I'm kind of excited to, switch it up a little bit. Did that for 4 years, so now I'm kind of ready to have that pro schedule again. But in terms of ending the season, it was definitely a heartbreaker. Luckily we beat Brown at home. We swept Brown this last year. So kind of ending on a high note, winning the last game of my college career in overtime at home is, something that I'll always remember. A little bit bittersweet, just considering the season ended on that note. But it's you gotta grow and you gotta learn from it. And I'll take everything that I learned at Colgate and apply it in the pros.
You had about 6 games remaining. My understanding on the schedule for you guys before the season ultimately did come to an end. For a lot of seniors across the college ranks, high school even, there's always the senior night. That's always a hallmark event on the calendar that a lot of players look forward to. Knowing though that you got the win in your last game, your final college game, as it would turn out, how satisfying was it, despite the fact that you weren't able to participate in that senior night?
Oh no! So our senior night was like the last regular season game. So we actually got to do a senior night, and
Excellent.
so
Okay.
yeah. So I guess that's one of the bonuses. But the senior night was awesome, having all the parents down. My class at Colgate is extremely close, so getting to see all their family members and everyone who showed out for them, friends, parents, brothers, sisters, all of them. It was awesome, and that group of guys that I got to experience college with is a group of guys I'll never forget, and so that senior night was really special for all of us.
You come from the state of Minnesota. It's known as the state of hockey. I see here that when you were playing high school, you did have the privilege of capturing a state championship.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
That was honestly, that experience playing in the state tournament in Minnesota is very tough to describe to someone out of the state who hasn't been to a game, because it's kind of like the whole state rallies together for a weekend just to enjoy some high school hockey. And the Xcel Energy Center is filled to the brim, standing room only. And being able to win one of those was something very, very special. My high school team was filled with guys that I've been playing with since mites, mites, squirts, peewees for years and years. So being able to win one of those state championships with all those guys was something that I'll never forget either.
Once your college season ultimately did come to an end, how soon did the gears in your head shift to maybe potentially making a turn at becoming a professional hockey player?
I think at the beginning of this year was when I really thought becoming a professional could be a reality. And I always wanted to play professional hockey, but I was more focused on short-term goals than the long-term goals. But coming into my last season, I started to have to really think about my future and what that could look like. And so having a season end the way it did, I guess my thoughts were more focused on just that next game, that next shift, instead of my future. But once it came to an end, I mean, my hockey is definitely not over with, and I did not want to end and go out like that. So I'm very grateful that I get the chance to, start my professional career in Orlando.
Seeing here, 6'4", 222 pounds. You are a big guy. How would you describe your overall game, and what can Solar Bears fans ultimately expect from your style of play?
My overall game has come to be a stay-at-home D who loves to make the first good pass out of the zone. I like to get greasy in the corners, try and lay as many hits as I possibly can, and just kind of expand my game from there. I'm hoping that I get a chance to become a little bit more of a two-way guy and work on my skill set that way over the summer. But that's what they can expect. Big defenseman, block shots, do what I can in the D zone.
Some of the communications staff at Colgate were kind enough to send over a couple of clips of your career at Colgate, and I got to say, seeing a lot of hits, I feel like the fans are going to embrace you pretty quickly. Where did you learn and refine your game when it came to hitting?
I guess that just kind of came from my 4 years. I mean, my 4 years at Colgate, the team worked on a lot of mini games down low, just working on body position and all that. And I think being kind of the late bloomer that I was, I kind of always had to be very precise when I was hitting. I was never growing up like Bantams, early high school, I was never the strongest guy. So I had to use my size to my advantage in terms of just being very precise with hitting. So I think it came from that.
What were some of the conversations that you had with Solar Bears head coach and general manager Drake Barahowski that led to ultimately you deciding to choose Orlando here at the outset of the free agency period?
Well, when he gave me that call, I was very excited. I was just kind of shocking, just because you never really know when it's going to actually happen, if you're going to actually get that phone call to get offered a contract. But he just kind of went over what the overall program's like, the system, the organization. It's great system, great location. It sounds like the ownership is top notch, coaching staff's top notch, and I noticed that there's a couple Minnesota guys on the roster too. So I'm always fond of that. But just hearing how classy it is from the top down, and how he focuses on player development, over a lot of other things, I'm very excited to get a chance to play on him.
Any final thoughts or any shout out that you want to give before we let you go, Paul? We appreciate your time.
I guess just shout out to my parents. I think they did so much for me to be able to get to this point in my life, in my career. So I guess just shout out to them.
Defenseman Paul Meyer, looking forward to seeing you in purple and orange this fall. Best of luck the rest of the summer with your training, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Jesse.